Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I have a question that was sent in to my share@pippenings.com email, which if any of you have questions for me regarding RV living or maybe anything else, go ahead and send them to share, S-H-A-R-E, at pippenings.com, P-I-P-P-E-N-I-N-G-S.com. And this one comes from William A. in Southeast Arizona. He says he's got a concern. He watched some other YouTubers say that it costed them $45,000 to live per year in their RV. He says he's got a house, and he says living in my 1,450 square foot house right now costs me about $4,744 a year to live, which includes property taxes, electric, gas, water, and HOA fee. He says, I figure this is what a full-time RVer pays for when camping in an RV park. Their water, electric, a space to park the RV, propane, and yes, you are kind of paying taxes for that space the RV is sitting on while there. He says, so what are your thoughts? What are my thoughts? Does this make any sense in favor of RV living full-time or not? By the way, earlier in the email, he says he might be interested in moving out of his house and into a fifth wheel to be, an RVer. So first of all, I already responded to him. I said, my basic answer is like, no, you're not going to spend $4,744 living in your RV a year unless you're living in places for free, and everything that entails includes all luxuries out the window. Anything you're used to in a house, if you're going to be parking for free, you're not going to be hooked up to water or electric or anything. You have to develop a whole new way of life. So the RV living scene is really great for people who aren't in their homes or are in houses and paying a ridiculous amount of money. But yes, it costs money. In fact, I did a breakdown on another video where I showed how much it costs to live daily, how much it costs to live weekly, and how much it costs to live monthly, with those being the regular payments in an RV, and it's about the same as an apartment. It's about the same as in a hotel if you're paying nightly. If you pay weekly, it's about $200, $150, $200. If you're paying monthly, which is the cheapest way to usually do it, then you're paying about, minimum $350 up to, $600, even more monthly. I have stayed at a place in Arizona where I paid for the full year, and that broke down to about $200 a month, which is pretty darn cheap. So, but still, there was, that would probably go under $4,744. Otherwise, if you want to maintain your regular luxuries, having water, not having to dump tanks on the side of the road, which God forbid, but I'm sure it happens. Shame on anybody who dumps their black tank anywhere. But if you want to be scrounging every night, every week for a new place to park where you're not going to get run off, then stay in your house. Stay in your luxuries that you know. Plus, the other thing is, when you're living on the road, you don't have your friends around. You get really bored and lonely, and going to these different towns, it's really cool to see at first, but it gets very tiring. And, here's some honesty. Every town begins to look the same. You're less excited to go see the next town. So that's my advice. Don't leave an already nice setup and cheap. I mean, $4,000, almost less than $5,000 to live a year. That's really good. Don't think that living in your RV is going to be better. And here's the thing. If you're living in your RV in one spot, that's the cheapest. If you're traveling, that's expensive. It's freaking expensive. So when he said that somebody told him it costed $45,000 a year to live in their RV full time, I'm assuming they're traveling, staying in RV parks nightly or weekly. Yeah, that's the freaking truth. Unless you want to, you know, scrape by and park in people's neighborhoods and go out in the boonies, not near anything, then you might be able to. And the only people I'd recommend to do that is if you already don't have a house, don't have any sort of great friendship network, then by all means, go be those people. So anyway, William, you know, let me know what you did, because I know I responded to you a little bit ago. And I don't want to deter anybody from moving into an RV and traveling, because that's, you know, that's epic. But I'll tell you, my experience, it gets tiring, old, and expensive. So thank you guys for watching. Send me your questions. I would love to answer questions. I'm going to be doing these Q&As more often now. So send them to share@pippenings.com. That's PIPPENINGS. Thanks so much. Oh, and subscribe to my Patreon account. Help support the channel. Buy t-shirts. I've got multiple t-shirts. Please help support the channel. And we'll see you next time.